How's it going, everyone? As per the usual, if you've seen by the title, what I'm going to be showing you is endgame DLC highlights that I've gotten recently that I have a ton on my drive that I have to delete for more drive space, so I've stored them all up. And you'll be hearing my preliminary thoughts. Again, small sample size because it's only been out for a couple weeks, so I've yet to experience everything you could possibly conceive with regard to enemies, enemy types, enemy strategies. All to be played out in the future, and then I can give you a proper, fully explored opinion. But until then, these are preliminary thoughts. What you'll be seeing, obviously, first of all, is a lot of javelin and anti-tank mine kills, which to me are incredibly satisfying to watch, and I hope they are to you, because there'll be quite a bit of them. If not, I'd suggest, or if you think it's cheap, I'd suggest turning off the video now. You probably aren't going to enjoy it. I have no qualms about using what I think is the best intellectual strategy in order to regularly dominate and win games. Being able to slow down tanks enough with anti-tank mines, assuming they don't run over them, and being able to use a javelin to lock onto bikes to be able to prevent them from returning your flag, I think is quite possibly the best and most intellectual strategy. So if you think intellectual strategy is cheap, again, turn the video off. Let's get all that negativity out of the way right now, and let's continue forth. Real quick, this is with regard to Endgame. What it is, obviously, is the last expansion pack for Battlefield. It dropped off the motorcycle. It is an extremely quick and extremely great flanking tool. Make sure you use it, especially in Capture the Flag. It's incredible for getting behind the defense. The only negativity drawback to it is that it has no way of indicating if you're being locked onto by javelins of the sort. So you have to listen for that pop. Or what you have to basically do is, well, see if it's being fired. Like, look out to the base as you proceed forth. What I usually do is I usually go through the valleys, like, because the thing about these maps, all of them, and there's the 4 new ones obviously because it's typical Battlefield where they put in 4 new maps. It's I think it's Kiasar Railroad, Nebadon Flats, Operation Riverside, and Salaban Pipeline. Basically, all 4 of those maps have a lot of like peaks and valleys, and as long as you're able to run through a lot of peaks and valleys on your way to the enemy base, they're going to have a really hard time establishing a lock-on long enough to hit you. So that's basically the strategy I use with the bike. They also added the dropship, the C-130, not the AC-130, because it's not, you know, it doesn't have firing capabilities. And they also added, well, with the dropship, I should say real quick too, is they added the dropship IFV in conquest mode, so you can have an airdrop IFV out of it. It's pretty cool. It's actually, you need to use it for part of an assignment. They added capture the flag mode, obviously, like I said before, and they added air superiority as well. Really quick, air superiority, if you're not sure what it is, real quick, is basically jets. It's like tank superiority, basically, is that there's sections in the air, flags you have to fight for as jets, while fighting off a shit ton of other jets. I personally haven't played it that much, so my opinion on it isn't really, you know, thorough. But of the experiences that I've played with it, I haven't enjoyed it all that much, that one at least. I find even when I spawn, I'm already being locked onto because everyone uses heat seekers, and the ones that don't use heat seekers a lot of the time are already you get ganged up on by jets. So in my experiences, yes, I'll probably get better at it if I played it more, but I haven't enjoyed it thus far. Capture the flag match, or capture the flag mode, has been by far my favorite mode type as of late. I've enjoyed everything about it. It's so much fun. As you'll see in the highlights, a lot I'm playing defense, and that's because a lot of the time most people like playing attack. Like, a lot of the time you'll see 10 people going forward and only 2 playing defense. But it's great because you have 2 great defenders, like me and this other guy in one of these Operation Riverside matches. Plant the anti-tank mines around the flank routes and run a javelin and watch out for bikes. And 2 to 3 guys can completely hold off an entire team from capturing your flag. So as long as your guys are able to get the enemy team's flag, you'll win 1-0, 2-0. I personally have absolutely no qualms about using anything the game has to offer to regularly shut down the other team, win the match, and, well, do great statistically. I have no qualms about playing D, although I think I personally am a better attacker, but you never know. With regard to assignments, if you're interested in the assignments, the dog tag challenge of Defender of Earth is basically you have to destroy 5 air vehicles with anti-air jeeps like the Vodnik, because basically they added anti-air Vodniks as well, and you can use those to, well, take out air vehicles. It's took me a while to, well, figure out that you don't use the left bumper to fire it, you use the right trigger. I know, duh. The second one, real quick, Scar Spangled Banner. Yeah, you basically, you return 5 capture the flag flags, you capture 2 flags, and then you win run round, and you get another dog tag. The third one is Fatal Drop, like I was referring to earlier about the airdropped IFV. You have to kill a soldier, you have to destroy an enemy transport vehicle, like a bike or a Vodnik, and then you have to destroy another IFV from an destroy an enemy IFV from airdropped IFV, which is probably the most difficult one, even though ironically I did it first. I got lucky. And if you unlock those 3 real quick, the next one's Road Warrior, where you have to kill 20 vehicles and get a roadkill with a dirt bike. And the last one is basically the only gun that they offered as part of this DLC, and it's the S-TAC. It's basically an M1911 S-TAC, so basically it's a silencer. It's a silenced pistol with a tactical light on it. I just unlocked it. Took me quite a few hours, even with my brother helping me, to do all 5 of those. But the S-TAC, I might do a breakdown of that gun later. I don't know. But basically I found it to be pretty decent in the few matches that I've played it so far. So yeah, to run down real quick, I haven't really enjoyed Air Superior all that much. I've enjoyed the hell out of Capture the Flag and Conquest though. Rush I've had a bit of a problem with in some of these maps. The most glaring is if you're an attacker, the first set of MCOMs for Operation Riverside. Because I've noticed if you aren't using your dirt bike to regularly get on that bike and really quickly attack the MCOMs with the rest of your team, if you give them even a few minutes to set up their Claymore, set up their C4, their anti-tank mines, the snipers get in the hills, in my experiences, maybe I just have a bad team, it's pretty much next to impossible to be able to actually get those MCOMs. You're constantly suppressed, little birds attack you, it's terrible. The map that I think I've had the hardest time with, especially as a defender, I've noticed Rush seems a bit, again, full disclosure, it could entirely be the fact that I'm new to these maps, it could entirely be the fact that I just get stuck with a shitty team consistently and it's just terrible luck, or the attackers are really good, but I find playing defense is pretty difficult in these maps, especially since a lot of them have attack choppers, and especially in Saliban Pipeline, I find playing defense is, well, brutally difficult. Unless your team happens to have like regular use of the Soflem Javelin combo to take out their first chopper, because the MCOMs aren't very far apart, and the choppers don't spawn very far apart either. If the attacking team's chopper beats out your defense's chopper, there's a good chance that your chopper will not see this guy again, because he'll obliterate everyone because there's little to no cover. And the other thing, again, right after that, is you'll take out your chopper, and then a minute later he just goes and takes out your chopper before it lifts off, and then he continues the whole process. So you have an attack chopper shooting at you the entire time, snipers shooting at you as you're fighting, because it's an uphill fighting down. The defenders are on the down, so you have all sorts of snipers sitting up top keeping you suppressed the whole match. Those are the 2 qualms I've had so far. With regards to the other maps, Nebadon Flats I haven't had much of a problem with, and Cassiar Railroad I haven't had much of a problem with in my experiences, but everything that all might change. I'll probably elaborate more further on, give a much bigger update as we go. But to break it down really quick, I'd have to give this DLC maybe an 8 or a 9 out of 10, just even alone for Capture the Flag. I found Capture the Flag to be an incredibly new, great addition to the DLC. I found it incredibly fun. Playing defense and playing attacking is both very satisfying and fulfilling, and it's probably worth the DLC alone. With some more experience, I'd probably get better at air superiority, but I haven't enjoyed that one as of yet. But yeah, I'd give it probably an 8, 9, 8.5 out of 10. The S-TAC I'll probably do a breakdown for if you guys want me to. Strengths and weaknesses about it, even though it's just a pistol. But yeah, I've enjoyed this DLC so far. Capture the Flag's great, Conquest is great. Rush is kind of iffy, because I find attackers always obliterate everyone. And air superiority is... Those are my thoughts. See you later.